I want to talk about being in a valley, And is there anybody in here this morning that you're going through a valley, or maybe you went through a valley in your life and you were down there and you felt like, man, I don't know if I'm ever going to get out of that space, but you eventually made it, or maybe you feel like you're stuck there right now. You know, maybe you feel like you're just alone there and you're like, God, where are you? Does anybody want to come up? Come up, man. Come up. We'll have a conversation about that. You don't have to be a preacher. This is just a fun conversation amongst family. We're family, yeah. We're an odd-looking bunch, but we're family. Come on, man. Come on. I know I'm in the right building. Who here, you're in a valley, you've gone through a valley, you've come through the valley. Maybe you're in the middle of the valley and you believe you're coming out of it. Maybe you know you're heading into one. Let's talk about that and we'll see where that goes. And then your conversation, your story will trigger somebody else. I'm going to say that again. Your story will inspire somebody else to share. So we're just going to let God move. Anybody want to come up? Appreciate you, man. Give it up for my dude. We got two of them. Come on. You can both come up. Just grab that mic right there. And if you can, come on over this way because I think we'll both be in the frame. And, yeah, you got to kind of untwine it there. So tell everybody your name and, you know, what's that valley for you, man?
My name's Rich Ballinger. The past couple years, it's been a valley for me and my family. I left Hamilton for about a year. I came back. I spent about 12 months in the hills of Cumberland, just kind of resetting my mind, walking with Jesus. And when I left, I was in a really bad place, probably one of the worst addiction moments of my life. Absolutely wilding out. Nobody in my world that surrounded me thought that I would ever come back, that I was just too far gone, that my mind was just in a state of psychosis. I was gone and nobody could recognize me, not even myself. So when I came back, I felt like the Lord told me to. And I came home and it didn't look like what I thought it would. I came home to my wife and my kids and there was still damage done, that things needed work through. Yeah. And I just had this unreal expectation when I came home and was rebellious about it. It hurt my feelings. I was mad at God and it went crazy again, you know. Yeah. So he does what he always does, and he's been there with me faithfully, you know, and I get to see my kids every day. I get to see my wife now. I get to see my ex-wife doing things that is phenomenal. Yeah. It's been a long valley. It's been a really long valley, and Jesus has been there the whole way, man, faithfully, step by step.
Come on.
He's helping heal my family from the top to the bottom.
Beautiful.
And that's exactly what I asked for, and that's why I'm here today.
Powerful, man, powerful. Yeah, give it up. So it was a process, right? You didn't come out of that right away, did you? And oftentimes when we find ourselves in those spaces, we want to come out and expect things to be the way they were when we left. Anybody been there? But you get out and you're like, man, this whole landscape has changed. That's powerful what you said. What about you, man?
My name's Jay, and I'm actually from the Miami Valley. So I came to Hamilton from Dayton. When I came to this church, it just so happened it was coincidence that I came in here and Pastor Patrick was sitting somewhere where he was available. And, it just so welcomed me. I've been to the penitentiary. I've been through, numerous struggles in my life. I'm with a group of fellas that, I can relate to. This church I relate to. The people are amazing. And just music is a big like pathway to like just like, you know, staying on, you know, just staying mentally sharp for me, you know, even if it is some music that's not, you know, the most positive music, it comes from, you know, like just my history. My family's involved in music. My brother's a musician, and just the bond that I've, you know, grown, you know, that's grown with me and the people in this church is I feel welcoming. You know, I love coming here. You know, I've met some wonderful people here. And like I did think, like I got hit by a car like 8 weeks ago, you know, and that was God kind of like helping me, like hit me right into recovery, you know what I mean? Like, and yeah, and right, and I'm just grateful, you know, like, and normally like, you know, like, normally like I would have sat back down because I seen somebody else coming up, but I'm like, nah, don't do that. Like that's not what this is about. This is not about being embarrassed. This isn't about being like, you know, worried about what anybody else is thinking, because that was a big problem I always had, what everybody else thought. But today it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks but me and my higher power. And I'm just grateful for that. You know, like I've met, like Lee's one of my really good friends, like, and like that man right there, like he's always got some joy coming out of him, something happy, and he's always smiling. So like I always look forward, like if I don't come to church for any other reason, it's to see Lee, but I'm just joking. But yeah, I'm grateful. You know, I'm grateful for the programs that are like that this man has pioneered. I'm grateful for the people in this church, you know, and I appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Give it up. Powerful, powerful stuff. I'll never forget, we had a guy who was talking about how God was trying to get a hold of his life. Remember? You were probably thinking the same thing, weren't you? I won't even... I'll save that for another day. So sometimes God will allow you to get hit by a car. Oh, man. Who else, man? You've gone through a valley. Maybe you're in a valley. You feel stuck. Maybe you found your way out. Anybody want to share? Anybody want to speak on that? Anybody, you went through a valley and you never thought it would get out. It felt never ending. It could be something health related. It doesn't have to be some dramatic prison or drug story, right? Not all of us have experienced that in this room. Maybe you've gone through something physically, health-wise, and you just felt like it was so hard to get through that time and that space. Anybody want to speak on that? Anybody want to share? How about a mental battle? Anybody ever been through a mental valley that you felt just mentally stuck? Anybody want to speak on that? I'll start calling you out. Come on now. I know this is weird. I know church is not meant to be participatory. I know we're all supposed to sit like a stage watching a concert. Come on now. Your voice matters, bro. Your story matters. Your perspective matters. You don't have to be a public speaker to come up here. Come on, somebody's got a story. Somebody's got a story. Maybe you've gone through some stuff. You've been in that valley. Give it up for Missy. Thank you. Hold that real close to your mouth.
Right here?
Yeah, perfect.
So I'm in a valley right now. I've been in this valley for over 2 years. I have had a lot of death. I've had a lot of love lost. And I was married for over 8 years to a man that I loved so much, and he was in drugs, and he was very abusive. And 2 years and 7 months ago, I divorced him, one, because I didn't want to be like that anymore and live my life that way, but I loved him, and I couldn't watch him die of a drug overdose. And 2 months later, he died of a drug overdose. And I'm struggling still with all of that, and I don't know it's just hard, and I miss him, but at the same time, I don't. And I'm just struggling with that right now.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Yeah. I appreciate your vulnerability and honesty, man. That's powerful to be able to voice that. Anybody else? You're in a valley. You've gone through a valley. You've overcome a valley. You've come out of the valley, and you're still here. I know there's some people that have come out of the valley, and you're still here. You're still here. You shouldn't have survived that down there, but you got out. You made your way out. Give it up. Are you coming up? Come on up. Come on up. Give it up. Give it up. Thank you.
Okay, so my name's Sarah Lynn. I was in a deep valley of addiction for almost my whole life. I've lost so many people. I lost my father to an overdose. I lost my daughter. Ended up in prison for 5 years. Like, that was the deepest valley that I never thought I was gonna get out of it. But I'm here today and like, dude, I'm sober. Like 6 years sober, like, you know what I mean? So, like, there is hope, you know? And I can't say that I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for God and surrendering my whole life to Him.
Powerful. Thank you so much. That's so much to go through. We're sorry for your loss. Anybody else? You've gone through a valley. Maybe you've overcome a valley you shouldn't have made it out of. Give it up. Appreciate you, man.
All right, my name is JJ. I've been through a valley, man. I'm going through a valley right now. Today, I woke up this morning, I was just in this depressed mood, man. I didn't know why, and I looked at my phone, and it's the 18th today, and that was 11 years ago my mom took her own life. Yeah, man, that just kind of messed me up, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm in the program right now and trying to stay sober. I got like almost 70 days, so.
Come on, give it up. Give it up.
But I'm not good with public speaking, man. I'm up here freaking out. But God, man, God changed my life for real. Like, I never thought that I'd be a God-fearing, I'm not a God-fearing person, but like, because I don't fear God, but I love God, and I know He's got my back and set me on the path to go the right way. And it's like I'm in a valley, but I got what they call them things, like the windsurfing things.
Yeah, wingsuit.
Yeah, like a windsurfing thing. I'm coming up out of it, you know what I mean? And it's hard, man, but I'm just trying to do the right thing, and yeah.
Powerful. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. I just lost my mom recently, man. I feel that. That's a hard loss. It's a hard loss. Anybody else? Maybe you made it out of the valley. You didn't think you'd still be here, and you're still here. You're standing on the fire that tried to burn you up. Let's hear about it. Love to hear about it. Give it up. Give it up.
My name's Dylan. Yeah, I am his roommate, and I live in the same house as JJ. It's so loud. Like this. I should not be here. When I was 16, I committed suicide, and I was brought back to life. And then I struggled with drugs since then. I found my sister dead, and that was it. You know, I went down a dark path. I've struggled with mental illness and suicide ideation for over 20 years now. And I've been hospitalized for it. At the height of my addiction, I had notes and a plan because I was going to do it again. That was almost 90 days ago. By the grace of God, my wife figured out that I was smoking crack, and that saved me, as I wasn't ready to give it up. I have 3 beautiful children who now get to have a father in their life, and I couldn't do that alone. I'm very thankful for this second, millionth chance of life. So if there's one thing you take away from all this today is hang in there. If you're struggling, doesn't matter what you're going through. If you give up, gives up the chance for it to get better. With that, I pass.
It's good. Powerful. You guys are preaching this morning. These guys are preaching. If you give up on a chance of it getting better. That was powerful, bro. I'm about to go get that tatted after church. Love it. Anybody else? You walked through a valley, you experienced a valley that you shouldn't have came out of, and you're here. Give it up. Appreciate you, man.
My name's Darren. 3 years ago, August 29th, to this day, I had something real tragic happen, and I lost my wife and baby. And I turned to drugs, and I was lost. I didn't know how to find my way back. I had always thought about getting back into church. It's been years since I've been in the church. And I had a couple possession charges at different times since the day that happened. And I for sure should be not here today. Several times since that day, I shouldn't be here. But I got a purpose, and I don't know what it is yet, but I'm going to find out. I chose to come to the coach, and it was like the best thing I've ever done in my life. It's not a sentence to me. I hear people talking about they got 7 days left and 4 days left and things like that. I don't know what that means. 4 days left for what? I'm glad to be back in church, and I'm on my way back. Thank you.
Love it. Love that. Powerful. Turn this one down a little bit. It's powerful. I'm on my way back. Hey, brother, let me tell you something. Hey, bro, we're all on our way back, including this preacher. That's powerful, man. I appreciate you. Anybody else want to talk about a valley you've gone through, a valley you've survived, something that you came out of that you should not have made it out of? Anybody else? Anybody else? This beautiful, magnificent creature, better known as my wife. Thank you. Give it up. Don't share too much. I'm teasing you.
I don't want to share this, but I need to share it. So many of you know, if you know Patrick and I well, you know that back during the spring of this year, one of our sons really began to struggle. Started going down a path of just really destructive behaviors. And if you know anything about being a parent, you know that when your children struggle, you automatically struggle with them, right? And what it sort of unleashed in me was some unresolved anxiety that was a lot worse than I realized that it was. And a lot of it was just like some cumulative trauma that had happened over the past couple of years. And it got to a point for me where like I feared going to sleep. I started getting really afraid like when it would start to get dark and nighttime was coming again, because I was starting to wake up out of a dead sleep in a panic attack. And if you've ever woken up out of sleep with your heart racing so fast that you can't even count the beats, that's a terrifying feeling. And like, even as a former ER nurse, like in those moments, I would just feel terrified, like I'm about to die. That's what's gonna happen, I'm about to die. And on one of the worst nights, I ended up in the back of a life squad, which was really embarrassing. It ended up in the emergency room at Kettering, and I remember the doctor doing blood work and doing all the standard things they do when you come in for heart-related issues, and I told him, I said, I had a normal day, it was a busy day, I was hydrated, but I woke up out of a dead sleep and my heart was racing. And based on everything he was seeing, he's like, you know, this could be anxiety. And I looked at him and I said, while I'm sleeping? Like, I'm sleeping. And he said, but your subconscious never sleeps. And so the gift for me through this experience has been that it's forced me to seek treatment that has been life-changing for me in the past couple of months. And I feel like in many ways it's given me the ability to fully live my life back that I probably wouldn't have sought if none of this had happened. But also, like, in regard to my son, like, just reminding myself that I have to surrender him to the Lord. And, like, during my incarceration, there were so many times where I was just worried about my kids, whether they were sick or they were out playing, and I knew they probably weren't being supervised like they should have been, and just having to really rely on the Lord, who they belonged to before he ever gave them to me, to look over them and trusting him with their life. And so that's what I'm doing today. I'm trusting the Lord with my son's life and reminding myself of his faithfulness in past seasons, that he's going to continue to be faithful in this season. And also the reminder that, like, there are some flowers that grow better in full sun, right? And there are some flowers that only grow in the shade. And the Lord knows that about each of us. He knows the conditions that we need to repurpose us and to get us to the place that he has for us in our life. And so just trust him in whatever valley, whatever your season that you're walking through, that there is purpose in it, and he is with you.
Powerful. Sheesh. Yeah, that's why I married her right there. Gosh. Some of you may have walked in here and because of your church background, you're like, I'm hearing a lot of inspirational stuff, but I haven't heard a lot of scripture. And the Bible is so potent. The Bible is so potent. One verse can change your life forever. And there's an often over-familiar text in the Bible, Psalms 23, says, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He restores my soul. He leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Listen close. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you are there.